Okay, Don and Cindy, this is an instructional video. Just going to give you the rundown on some things here so that you know what's going on. Here's where you fill the gas. Just basically unscrew the cap and put the fuel in there and try not to drip any in there. Of course, you got to undo the tonneau cover. Snaps just go on and off. Here's the main shutoff. This has got a main battery shutoff right here. It's basically a kill switch. The little knob is right here, and it's listed on the back side, on and off. So when you're not using the vehicle, I suggest just to shut this off. So to turn it on, you're going to flip the switch up. When you flip the switch up, for some reason, it activates the passenger side solenoid on the door. We don't know why it does that. It doesn't do it all the time, but it does do it occasionally. So when you turn this power switch on, just be aware this passenger side door might pop open. Let's see if it happens. And it does. We don't know why it has that glitch. It's probably something to do with the power just being turned on and it clicks the solenoid. But like I say, it doesn't do it all the time. So you're going to use these two key fobs, and they are marked passenger door and driver's door. So you basically push the driver's door, and the driver's door will open. There's also a latch on the inside of here. When you're inside the vehicle, to get out, you basically are going to move that latch, and it's going to open the door. When you're inside, after you've closed the door, then you can basically take this latch and you can close it. It puts a pin out and it locks it into the body. Just because these are suicide doors, not saying that they'll pop open on you, but it's a little extra safety and security. Same thing on the passenger's door. Has the same actuation. You basically pull that spring-loaded latch back to open the door, and then the other little latch is to lock it with the pin. So startup on this is basically simple and normal as a regular vehicle. Just put the key in the ignition there. When it's cold, you're going to have to probably pump it 2 or 3 times, and then it'll start up. I already had it running, so it might just start up. Here is the fuel pump switch. It's also marked. It says fuel pump. I would just say leave it on, because as soon as you turn the key on, the fuel pump starts working. And then you can go ahead and start the vehicle up. So it basically fired right up for me. It's like I said, I had it running a little bit prior. Basically shut it off. When you have the vehicle running and you've been driving for a bit and you go to shut it off, when you go restart the vehicle after it's warmed up, you shouldn't need to pump it. I would say just hold the gas pedal down about 1/4 of the way, crank the ignition, and it'll fire up. The windshield wiper has 2 switches to turn it on. This is an aftermarket windshield wiper assembly. I don't know if this can be sorted out, but it's to do with the clocking. So basically it's a 2-speed windshield washer assembly. And so here's the knob to make it go slow or fast. There's the off position. There's the number 1 position. Right down underneath here is a main switch that is marked. Turn this tab around, you can see there's the main wiper switch. You'll just have to feel for it. You can probably see it underneath there where the little string goes to. So basically, if you flip that toggle switch, the windshield wipers are going to turn on. And as you can see, they work. The clocking is off, and it's just because of the windshield wiper assembly that's in there. Now it's a 2-speed, so it's on low. You can go up to high, and then basically you can turn it off, but as you can see, it'll stop right where it goes. So what I would suggest is to keep it going, reach down here, and turn off the other switch when the clocking is down on the driver's side. It's just the way that this assembly is. I don't know what else to tell you. Everything else is straightforward right here. There's the headlight switch. Here's the electric fan. When you do have this vehicle running, you need to keep the fan going at all time. So you push the switch up, and you can hear the fan running out by the motor there. But like I say, you need to leave that on all the time that the motor is running. And then of course when you shut the vehicle off, you'll need to shut that off also. This extra switch here is just basically that. It's an extra switch. It's wired up and it's got power to it. The lead is capped off inside there. It's for anything extra that you'd like to add, like maybe some driving lights or a fancy horn or something like that. Of course, it's got the regular horn that works right here. No big deal. The mirror is just a basic mirror there with a clock in it. What else do I want to show you? The emergency brake is right there. That's pretty much self-explanatory. It's got the latch to release it there. What else can I show you? I did find out it does have 3 seat belts in this vehicle. So you can ride 3 passengers in here. It's a little tight. And as you can see here on the shifter, this is called a Power Glide. It's a 2-speed automatic. So you basically will shift it in reverse or neutral and then drive, and then you see you have an L for low. What I like to do is manually shift these. Start out in low and then just shift it up into drive. You don't have to do it that way, but it'll get you off the line and get you a little more power. That's just the way this transmission was designed. It's an old type of transmission that he used in this vehicle. Let's see, what else can I show you about the inside? That's pretty much it. But like I say, you just play with the latch assembly and you'll figure that out. Let's go take a look underneath the hood and I can show you some do's and don'ts here. So this is how you open up the hood. There's a latch right here. You lift this latch up. It's a little bit spring-loaded, so you lift it up and you can see that the latch and the hood start to open the assembly. Just go ahead and open the hood. That's as high as it goes. Be careful not to hit yourself on that because you would feel it. So here's the basic things right here. Here's where you check the oil. There's the dipstick for the oil right here. Pull it out, wipe it off, stick it in, and see where it fills up to. Same thing here with the power steering fluid. The radiator fluid you'll want to check when it's cold. You'll open the cap up and look underneath there and see. You probably want it about an inch down from the top. You don't want to overfill these because after they get warmed up, the fluid expands and it could end up pissing out the overflow line. So that's how you'd fill that. Here's where you check the automatic transmission fluid right here. And you'll check that when the vehicle is warmed up after you've driven it just a little bit. Hot idling in park. So when the vehicle is running, open the hood here, wipe the stick off, stick it back in, pull it out and make sure it's in the little checkered area for being filled up. These also read low when they're cold, so make sure that it's warmed up before you check this, because when these get warmed up, the fluid expands and then it'll give you a higher reading. So always check the automatic transmission fluid after it's been warmed up and driven for a little bit. Everything else in here is very easily accessible. Your belts, hoses, everything's in good condition. So when you go to close this hood, this is how I would suggest closing it. You can either grab it by the latch or the top here. Basically, you're just going to bring it down. And when you bring it down, you can see it only goes so far. So what you have to do is kind of close the hood a little bit. And then you can see it, then it engages in the latch there. Make sure that latch goes all the way down and it's snapped. Grab onto that hood and make sure that it's stable there and it's latched and anchored. The mirrors themselves, you basically just have to adjust those with your fingers. Put the windows down, and that's another thing I can show you real quick is the power windows. So basically it's a button there on the door. Turn the key into the on position, and then basically here is your up and down switch for the windows. Pretty simple and self-explanatory. And there's 2 extra little glove boxes underneath here. And the owner made a nice little feature here. So if you open these up, on each side, you're going to find a little handle here. He custom made this so that when you're at a car show, and if you want to display the interior, you basically take this little latch, put it on the door striker plate, and then you're going to close the door. You'll close the door, and then basically you can see that this piece fits right in here, just like that. So you can see that's nice and secure. The wind is not going to take and open and close that door on you. To basically get it out, you just need to release the latch and take that basically back off and put it underneath in the compartment here. There's one just like it on the other side. So if you open up the other side, you're going to see that as well. Here are 2 cigarette accesses for cigarette lighters, or you're going to plug a phone in, an iPod, or something of that nature. So he put those in as well. What else can I show you here? We can go over to the passenger side real quick here. Let's see. There, I just opened the door. Same thing over here with the latch assembly. You can see that the pin slides in and out right there for when you're already in the vehicle. Close the door. These are suicide doors. We wouldn't want them popping open on you. There's the other compartment right there. All your heater controls and your air conditioning are right here. Basically, it looks pretty much self-explanatory. You put the selector over to warm or cool and turn the fan on, and then the air conditioning will kick on. I don't know what else to tell you. I think I cover pretty much anything. Oh, there is one other item I didn't cover. This is how you get in the vehicle when you've accidentally locked the keys in the truck. You see this little nub right here? There's a little plastic nub and a grommet. This little bolt right here is a power that you're going to touch, and then that way you can pop open the door. He's made this wire up, so you're basically going to take this wire and you'll put it on the positive side of the battery terminal right here, just like that. If you stick it in the positive side, basically what we're going to do is we're making a jumper wire here. You take the end of this jumper wire, you come down here and you touch it right here, and the door's going to pop open. You see that? Pretty neat and slick, huh? So just keep that in mind. If for some reason that you lock the keys in the vehicle or you've misplaced the keys, you can still get in the vehicle by just accessing this little power port right here. So when you're done, just basically unplug it and roll the wire up. So I think I've covered most everything that you're going to need to know just on the basics. Any other questions, feel free to give me a holler. We'll talk to you guys real soon. I know you're going to enjoy this and have lots of fun with this truck. It's pretty cool. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, guys.